Okay, so this question is from Gorged Potatoes rather. Do you plan out walkable areas before placing machines? Always struggle with walkways, but they're usually more of an afterthought. This is a really good question because it comes down to whether or not you sort of realize or know kind of how the building system works and how you can kind of exploit it without having to always keep in mind what is, you know, your question was about walkways, but keeping in mind like later steps in your builds. So this is a little factory that I made that makes what does it make again? Makes some kind of nitric acid, yeah. And you can almost tell, like I put a lot of walkways in here. I like walkways. I wanted this to look very much like very industrial, very kind of like, out of the elements. But if you look at all the machines, they're all on the same level. And that's because this started out as one giant slab of foundation that was 100% flat. Then I ran the pipes here temporarily. They didn't look this nice and neat to this area. And I just kind of hooked everything up. Now my thought was always to basically delete all those foundations and make it look a little bit more quote-unquote intentional. So, after I built the entire thing, after I built the entire factory itself, like got it up and running and whatever else, that's when I added the walkways. And because as long as you put the machines on the slabs in a way where they're actually centered on each one of the foundation slabs, like you're not kind of putting them kind of in an odd place on them, then generally things work out fairly easily. As you can see here, so back here, you see how it kind of is flush to the back? Well, that's because I put this guy flush on the foundation, right? So you can see there was a foundation here. You see how it lines right up to the edge? Yeah, so if I always do that, keep them sort of aligned well to the foundation bits, you're going to have a fairly easy time with laying out the catwalks and stuff. Every once in a while you're going to have sort of a weird spot. I get that. Also, another thing is like this was sort of a fast one for me. Like normally I would not do things like this. I would raise them up to have them sitting here, or have it be a little bit so it doesn't look like it's clipping through. But this was somewhat fast. This is really just to feed a couple of bits that I needed to hit a couple of milestones, and also for the nitric acid for my nuclear power plant. But yeah, so I really like the idea of just laying the factory out first in a way that's practical and easy for me to service, and also to kind of understand what's going on if I come back here, 6 months from now. And then you take stuff away. So, I took away all the foundations here and just added these architectural frames, which I love. And then other things kind of informed this as well. I figured pipes need support, so I made a little support piece here. And, you don't want to put iron or steel in the water, so I gave it a concrete footings underneath. This just all grew out of what the environment was telling me to do, and my overall design aesthetic for this. You can see this is very different from my other builds. Yeah, and that's about it. I don't know if I would ever really. I don't think I've ever really designed with catwalks in mind, because I haven't had to. As long as you sort of follow those basic rules of always keeping your machine centered on different foundations, then you should be okay. Hopefully this helps.